Welcome. If you've been doing a lot of emotional work and you're on this path of personal growth, but you just find that some of those thoughts that are hard to get past, that are really sticky and unhelpful and don't align with your values and your needs and your core beliefs, this video is for you. We'll practice a Prana Dharana meditation to gather in and create a reservoir of life force energy within that you can draw on throughout your day. And we'll flip the script with Pratipaksha Bhavana. This yoga sutra empowers us to generate alternative thoughts to the ones that are really sticky and getting in the way of the core values and intentions that we feel most aligned with, and teaches us how to not get stuck in thoughts that are aversive by reminding ourselves that that is not the only thing that's true. There is also another thought that can be true. In fact, there are infinite thoughts that can also be true at the same time. So why get stuck on that one? If you're a highly sensitive person, neurodivergent, or just anxious about the state of the world, go ahead and subscribe below so that I can continue to share self-compassion, mindfulness, and self-regulation tools with you. And you can experience more connection, support, and ease in your day-to-day life. So I'll tune us in, and then we're going to start off with a little silence. So get comfortable. Be mindful of your breath, of your body, and of the thoughts arising and passing. In the Yoga Sutras, there's a practice called Pratipaksha Bhavana. A loose translation is when adverse notions, like unhelpful thoughts, crowd our minds. They tend to be stickier than all those other thoughts that arise and pass. And if we imagine the clouds floating above, right, those are the thoughts. But one of them is like a rain cloud, and it just seems to kind of stay there above our heads. If you're noticing that, Patanjali says we can endeavor to conjure up their opposites or opposing thoughts. Like there are different translations. What I want to remind you and encourage you to consider is that this is a empowered decision rather than part of us that is judging our thoughts and feelings that might be gaslighting us, right? We might often gaslight ourselves, that critical part of us that says, no, it's not really that big a deal, or you just deal with it or something. And that's not what we're talking about here. Two things are true, right? This might be true, this thought that I'm having, but then there might be another thought that is also true. So we get to choose which thought to spend time with. We're not negating the other thought, but we're generating like an alternative thought, and really consider where this is coming from. So being compassionate for the part of us that is having that thought that is unhelpful or sticky, and telling ourselves two things are true. This is also true with the idea of contentment or serenity. We can work with our minds. Our minds are a tool, just like our bodies and our breath. And we can think of ourselves as the observer, the control tower, or the lighthouse. There are more serotonin receptors in our guts than there are in our heads. By caring for, working with, and befriending our bellies, we have potential to grow that sense of contentment without ever working with the thoughts or the stuff in our head. It's the sensations in our guts, letting them be a guide and a friend to us, point us toward what we are feeling and what we most need. And then there is this pathway from brain to body, this HPA axis, the thalamus, the pituitary, and the adrenal glands, which sit on top of our kidneys in the lower back. And when stress starts to become chronic, it becomes this loop, this pathway of, are we safe? Not quite safe yet. Let's keep pumping those stress hormones. So I find this meditation of working with the hypothalamus and the pituitary, and working with the brain, super helpful for pausing that loop that tells the adrenal glands to keep going. We have this inner resilience and reserve, reservoir of prana. Take your tongue, touch the roof of your mouth, feel a pathway from the crown of your head to the roof of your mouth, and then relax your tongue. Feel the pathway from the center between your eyebrows straight back to that line between the roof of your mouth and the crown of your head. To find that center point of your brain, just floating above the roof of your mouth. See if you can soften. You don't ever have to close your eyes. You don't ever have to be still. You find a place where you feel safe and as easeful as you can be. You feel held and supported. And you draw your awareness toward that central place. I'm going to be guiding breath focus. As we're breathing in, we're noticing the edge of our nostrils, then sinuses, then up to tear ducts. Breathing out, following that path back out. Just that short path from the edge of your nostrils through your sinuses. Imagine the breath going behind your tear ducts, a little bit back. Might be following the path of your optic nerve straight back. And then releasing on your out breath. Notice if there's any tension or holding with this meditation, and see again if you can soften. And this time, imagine that you're drawing in life force or prana through your nostrils, up your sinuses, through your tear ducts, directly back to deposit that little bit at the very center of your skull. And your exhale is a softening and ease, a relaxation. Notice any tension in your gut, your neck, your jaw. Soften that, return to the inhale. And if you are a visual person, you might visualize a drop of glimmering blue or clear prana or water starting to grow right at the center, like a blue pearl, right at the center of your skull. And your exhale, you might visualize mist rising or evaporating to release residual tension. Each inhale gathers more life force, more energy to this spot. Each exhale evaporates a little more until we've grown a little clear or blue puddle. Feeling the shimmering mist rising off that puddle on your exhale. A little beautiful pond of your own imagining. Each breath growing, expanding to a small lake. Eventually to a limitless reservoir of prana. Invite you to continue to work with this as long as you'd like. You can pause me and continue, or if you feel ready to be done with it, know that it's available to you. This reservoir of prana that you have created, you can tap into it to generate life force energy that is smooth, reflective, bountiful, supportive. Anytime letting the visualization go, you might want to roll your head in little half neck rolls, letting your chin drop forward, and then taking a half neck roll, maybe looking around your space, orienting to your space. You might prefer to shake out, shake your head, shake your arms, shake your hands, give yourself a little jiggle or dance. You can return to these practices. And if you want to support others, teaching something simple, maybe not this Prana Dharana practice, but something simple like, hey, let's flip the script. Let's know two things are true. Let's take a breath to our bellies together. Hey, did you know we have access to so many serotonin receptors in our guts? We can find contentment by working with what's there, by untangling some of the tension we might be holding there, rubbing our bellies. Right. Breathe in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.